Montreal is a city of religion, a city of believers, a congregation of hope and expectation. It's here at the Forum, Montreal's hockey shrine, that hope and expectation come together. It's a shared experience, the hope to excel, the expectation to win. They take to the ice like gods walking the earth, with a conviction to be the best they can be. In Montreal, excellence is more than a virtue. It's a devout way of life.
A lot of these people live and die with the Canadians, and you get that feeling. When you get into the Forum, you watch a very important game, that you can feel the electricity. Everybody's with you. So it's not only just playing a hockey game for the Montreal Canadiens. You're carrying really the whole weight of the province with you.
The Canadians are heralded as heroes, but they're only hockey players. It's a weight born of success, of 23 Stanley Cups, of devotion to a cause and to a people.
They're simply games, and you wear a logo and you put on a cap, but it's much more here. It's spiritual, it's passionate, it's cerebral. It's an identifying set of components that really carries with it an enormous amount of weight. The team crest or logo became a symbol for Montreal and Quebec fans. The players who bore the crest bravely on their chests were charged with a meaningful set of responsibilities, for they were perceived as advocates of the community rather than just simple representatives of a hockey team.
The CH is Montreal's most distinctive status symbol. The Canadians are to Montrealers what the Francophone factor is to Quebec. They need to distinguish themselves, to stand apart from the rest.
In the last 60 or somewhat years, there's not too many equivalent, whether it be in football, in baseball, in soccer, or in basketball, of such a professional team that has performed all through these years. And I think that's part of the excellence of Montreal, for sure.
The Habs' history of success is personified in their stars. It began in the 1930s with Howie Morantz, the 40s with Maurice the Rocket Richard, then Henri the Pocket Rocket in the 50s, followed by Jean Beliveau in the 1960s and Guy Lafleur in the 1970s. All French, but more importantly, all winners.
Well, they're great fans, there's no doubt about that, but they're very spoiled. As far as hockey is concerned, we've been winning quite a few Stanley Cup here in Montreal, so like I said before, they're just great fans, but they don't know much about losing. So like everybody else, like every other fan, I guess, they're great when you win, but they're not as great when you lose.
Greats like Hall of Fame goaltender Bernie Perron remember how hard it was to play at the Forum.
Oh God, I still just trying to answer that question. I feel it. It was, you know what, I hated playing in goalie against Montreal. In Montreal, I just hate it, and the reason for this is really because of the pressure that is on the goaltender, because you knew that, you know, every time you played Montreal, you had to be at your best to have a chance to win the game, because you know, I had a chance to talk earlier with Henry Richard, and what made Montreal so successful and what is making Montreal so successful year in and year out is that they constantly work very hard. So you have to be at your best to compete against them.
And if the opposition feels the heat, imagine what the home side goes through. Watchful eyes from above remind every player what's expected of him, of the commitment to excellence, embraced by everyone, players and fans alike.
When you're not performing to your capabilities, they'll tell you, you got to be on your game every night. If you're not on your game every night, you'll hear from somebody.
The fan support in Minnesota was great at the time, but here it's more of a religious aspect. It's more ingrained part of their life, and I think it's really valuable to play here at a time like this.
But times have changed. No one player bears the burden. Nowadays, it's the coach.
Over the last few years, I don't think that star has really come out of Montreal. I think the star right now is Jacques Demers, which pull this team out together.
Jacques Demers has done a great job trying to keep us shielded as much as he can, and we got a great bunch of guys. There hasn't been any trouble off ice this year as there has been in past years, and basically we're just a close-knit bunch in here.
The Canadiens are many things to Montreal, an athletic, cultural, even political institution. But there's no denying what's most captivating about this hockey club is the religious fervor which surrounds it. It's almost as if each winter the Canadiens take Montreal on a quest for the Holy Grail, hockey's Holy Grail, the Stanley Cup. For TSN Inside Sports, I'm Rob Sinclair in Montreal.